Okay, folks. Today, this is the quickest we've ever launched one of these games. I'm pressing the launch button right now, as you guys can see how the draft finishes out. We're already reloaded and everything, so it's actually starting right now. As you can see, the conclusion to the draft right here. Some spicy picks, some mix-ups here, definitely from the established meta. But we're already in the game, so I'll switch over there in just a second if you were so kind to show just a little bit more patience. Oh, good. We're looking good here. It looks everything fine. So there we go. Welcome back, guys. Game 8 of the tournament. And this is what we've got. Horse capitals for everybody. And we'll see what these guys are gonna make of these starts. Right off the bat, I'm seeing some difficult stuff there, but we'll get to everything. First of all, before we start talking about anything else, quick look at the standings. You can see right here. Team Anti basically already secured that first place. Not entirely, though. There's still a possibility for them to come second, but it is rather improbable that anybody would still overtake them. Just in case, though, if they should look to secure a few points in this one to ensure that going into that last place, or that last game rather later on, they'll have that first place secured. We'll see how that goes for them. Team Anti, of course, with another strong lineup. Antiquity himself with Status this time around, who's playing that first game in this tourney for himself. They're both reasonably close together. They like that. Both in pretty fine spots. Anti, especially with the Zulu here, able to harass either the Iroquois over here or the Aztecs over here. So he'll be definitely happy with that. I believe he's already spotted the Aztecs. That's very fortunate for him. Good decision to go east first with that scout. Many people would have scouted towards the center of the map or went towards their teammates already. But Anti, good choice, walking on over east and finding out. Oh. All right. Small amount of confusion there apparently, but it's all good. Readbob now finally with his plant. He had a pretty unfortunate spawn, I think over here it was. Wanted to get on over there towards the bonus grassland and the river. Yep, Anti here is gonna regret that he didn't have his mutes checked. Typically I remind people of the mutes once we go into the reload. I didn't do that this time around and it seems to have caught Anti a little bit off guard. He's now informed the Aztecs that he knows where they are. And I wonder what that's gonna do to MJ. I was gonna say she's in a great spot to ambush the Zulu here, but now that Anti knows about that, he'll play accordingly, you have to imagine. So, we already covered Team Anti, who are Team South on this map with the dark colors. Then we've got Team Cheeze, MJ and Sooty, running it back from yesterday. They're quite a distance apart. You can see bottom right and top middle. That's unfortunate for them. Egypt and Aztecs for the two of them. Two very aggressive civs. We saw Team Antiquity up for this civ combo in game number 2. Must have been game number 2. And it didn't go that great for them. That's all I'll say on that front. Didn't go all that well. So we'll see if Team Cheeze managed to pull that off a little bit better for them, hopefully. And the last remaining team, of course, then is Sumeria and Iroquois for Sdn and Readbob. They're also very close together. They're gonna like those, well, that proximity, but I already said Iroquois had a pretty underwhelming start. Having to walk on over there now, having to improve tiles across the river. It's gonna be iffy for him to find a lot of good cities here, I fear. And not a ton of nice spots so far for him. So, it's not the greatest Iroquois map. Had they been switched around, that would have been awesome. Sdn in the middle of the map here with Sumeria. He wouldn't have cared. He could have just planted on the spot and started playing. Whereas Iroquois over here in the northwest, that would have been perfect land. Well, maybe a lack of forests could be a bit underwhelming, but still, he wouldn't have complained about that. And to make things worse, he even walked away from his horses in order to get towards that river. That is the most unfortunate part of everything here. So a map that could have been so great for Team Halu turns out to be just mediocre, I would say. So again, I would actually say Team Antiquity probably with the best end of this map. But of course, many things could change. Fortunately, at least for Egypt, there's not a lot of untraversable terrain here. Jungles and mountains are tiles that Egypt's war chariots cannot go onto, but that doesn't matter that much on this map, I don't think, because there's always some room to maneuver around those tiles right here. Although the Iroquois, if he's looking to attack their capital, that is quite well guarded quite well by these tiles, so might have to do some scouting before he can actually get through to Readbob. Lots of jungle, yeah, they're saying already is the terrain might be a bit rough here at some points of the map, but this area over here, of course, doesn't matter at all. They're trying to get towards each other with those units, though, trying to make contact. And Anti had spotted that Jaguar warrior, so he might be worried that that guy is coming towards him. Therefore, maybe the Zulu this time around not able to get out onto the map as quickly as they usually do. Water spotted by them, but it's not too massive. Shouldn't be that big an obstacle, I don't think. And Anti now able to also spot the second enemy player via this hill vision over there. Actually goes out with that first MP towards the Aztecs and trying to give MJ a difficult time at home. Interesting play there for MJ. She made a Jaguar warrior, then she made maybe another regular warrior, and now another Jaguar warrior. It's not the typical build order that you see with Aztecs. Warrior, Jaguar warrior early maybe, and then a barracks is what you see oftentimes. She's going for a bit of a different direction here. In any case, the other parts of the map should play out very, well, slowly early on. There shouldn't be a lot going on there. So I expect the main point of attention to be between these three civs here, Iroquois, Zulu, and Aztecs, as they're already making their ways towards each other as the first border expands come in. Anti just holding down the vision right here, and there goes MJ onto the hill. At this point, both parties could consider giving a golden age over to the other one. Don't expect that to be happening right now, though, because golden aging the other guy just sets you and them behind. Whereas if you don't do that, both of you are just in fine spots, which is typically preferable to most of these players, I would imagine. In a three-way race, you don't really want to take yourself out of the running just to set someone else behind. Anti probably going for the double move now. There he goes, maybe trying to see if he can get onto some work tiles or anything, although MJ has plenty of tiles to work with for now. Made another Jaguar though, so she's gotta make sure. Oh, did she cancel that mine here? Well, she might have. That is unfortunate. Didn't even get a mine out before the harassment starts coming in. And we'll have to keep our eyes on how she's gonna be able to deal with that MP harass. It's just one regular MP for now, so maybe making a veteran archer could already be enough to deal with that. Of course, it's never guaranteed with the RNG though. If you're wondering where Egypt's horses are, they're right underneath that capital, so no worries for Sooty as well. Readbob though, really catching the bad end of this map. Feel for him. It's also his first game of this tournament, as Anti goes in and gets that first pillage off already. MJ off to a very bad start for herself. Unfortunately, just that matchup here. But we've seen that play out in many of my MPT tournaments, Zulu versus Aztecs. Typically, the Aztec player is able to get onto Zulu first, just because they have their unique unit first. But then after some time, Zulu is typically able to free themselves from the Jaguar pressure and completely lock down the Aztecs. The first part of that equation has not taken place this time around, so it might just be all downhill from here on out for MJ. And a situation that I thought might be very promising for her, being that she was in a kind of the corner of the map where Anti might not expect her, able to pounce onto him, turns out not to yield any returns for her at all, so far at least. And she might be, yeah, forced to wait for some help from her teammate maybe. Sooty here from the north. It's not unfeasible for him to get down there with an early war chariot stack. 2 cities, great land for him by the way. Look at this, the wines, the sugar, millions of bonus grasslands, the forest firs even to boot. That's major stuff for the Egyptians. So just making 15 war chariots over the next 20 turns or so, getting down there. And how many turns is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You couldn't get from your capital onto Zimbabwe in 8 turns, even without any roads. So definitely an option to double team the Zulu here for Team Cheeze. That's what I would advise them to do as well, because remember, everybody that isn't on Team Anti is really looking to make them finish last place in this one. Otherwise, Team Anti will just secure the tournament win already. And playing for second is much less fun, I imagine. Therefore, I'd see that as the number one priority, trying to make Team Antiquity finish last. At least MJ able to hold on to that second road that she made. But overall, Anti in a much better spot right here. Having the Jaguars float around in his land. No disorders just yet. Happy about that. No capitals burning. Despite sizes 3 being reached already. And status with the honorary Kismic build. Immediate second city as early as possible. It's Babylon. We'll see a lot of border expanse there. I'm really surprised he didn't just plant that city all the way down in the corner. That's missing out on some free score, to be honest. Yeah, no real reason not to do that, I don't think. But either way, maybe looking to get that bonus grassland on the border expand or something. Alright, but my original prophecy is still true as SDN goes, just like yesterday for the score city plans. My original prophecy is still true. All the action is going on in the southeast right now, where MJ is at least doing a good job, not completely folding or anything, just still keeping pressure on Anti. 3 Jaguars going to be on him soon. As Zimbabwe down to size 2, I think he just made a settler, right? Would expect him to have that settler out now as MJ strikes out of the notched land, has that archer. And that's what I was saying, just one regular MP is not that bad. Early on, this really makes a difference, excuse me. Having your unique unit cost 3 effective shields less than your opponents. You really see that on the map right now, where you've got, oh, I don't have any spies out because it all failed in the first turn. But I'd say she's got twice the amount of unique units out on the map right now, as both keep moving on with their harassment units, trying to find some pillages, some worker takes. No settler for Anti, surprisingly. I wonder why he is size 2. He must have made a settler, but it didn't come out last turn. That's a bit confusing to me. He popped a warrior over there, funnily. Let's see if we can actually get those spies out now, though. That would be very helpful, comparing these early builds. Looks like we're a bit more fortunate this time around. 3 of them failing in the first turn was unfortunate, to say the least. Nice, there we go, folks. As the turn ends, do we see some more combats being taken? No, people just guarding their tiles, taking it slow. MJ again moving out with the worker, trying to get the road back up. She's definitely behind in worker moves, but she's got 3 units in the enemy land, whereas Anti only has 1. So she's at least got the military edge for now. which again is kind of expected in this matchup. Poor Readbob though. Can't help but feel for him with those horses over there. It's still on the same side of the river, luckily, but it's not like he's got a good city planned next to them. Actually, he's gonna need to plant this city pretty much, which is off the fresh water and doesn't provide much more than just the horse. So could also plant on the horse though. If he can defend that, that would be ideal. Looks like he's kind of roading through the jungle right now to get on over there. Second city now finally out for Anti. And a chop coming through too, if I saw that right. Egypt and Sumeria kind of fighting there. Ooh, it looks like they were trying to give that golden age over to Sdn. But on the contrary, it's Sooty who wins that role, incredibly. And this time around, he gets the good RNG over the Sumerians. Throwback to yesterday, if you guys recall. Didn't quite go as fortunate for him. I wonder how things are gonna go. In moves MJ to the west, trying to keep Anti on his toes as he's moving over to Goddess Roads. She might be able to hit Zimbabwe if she chooses to. Maybe she's able to fake him out and hit onto the capital, though. We'll see if she goes for any attacks or if he's just looking to make him a bit nervous. First capital burning, and it's actually Readbob right now. So, you know, whoever had Kismic in his bets, he didn't play. Wow. Did Sooty? Oh yeah, Sooty hit into that. Okay, that's right. It just looked to me for some reason as though Readbob was the one attacking. But no, Readbob's gonna love that. Getting that mountain back for himself and getting a promotion for the warrior just for free. He's gonna be very much happy with that. As more Jaguars start coming in, and I wonder if she's actually looking to attack someone. Worker being moved back into capital for Anti. He's given respect. She's moving on over to Zimbabwe. She might think about attacking actually, but Anti is ready to reinforce wherever he needs to. No attacks coming through for now, and at this point, I feel like if Anti had any archers, he would start hitting into these Jaguar warriors now. So he's coming back with that MP that he had healing up outside of her land earlier. She decides against going for any attacks, though. Splits up those Jaguars now. Gets back onto the tiles that she wants to block. And that was just some... She was maybe thinking about it, but then Anti appeared to be ready. Reinforced his road nicely. And she doesn't want to go for that big of an early coin flip. I guess doesn't want to risk losing all her early pressure. And that might be the correct call in this situation. Anyways, Sooty getting some warriors onto Sumeria now, keeping Sdn honest at home. That's nice to hear. And Anti with his golden age now. We missed out on that, but must have won that combat to take the road and the worker to boot, I assume. So that's an unfortunate side there for MJ, no question. We'll see if she decides to retaliate on offense for that. I hope this answers Sdn's question. I'm not 100% sure myself anymore if OB's... Oops, he says only one. Did only MPT, OB, MPT give two? Let me check the terrain. Desert. No, gives two. Okay, I'll message that privately to him. I just checked in the scenario properties and it says here terrain, irrigation bonus, 2 food. Egypt and Sudo fighting now. Not sure whether that would have happened. Maybe his scout got taken, Antis. Might have lost a scout on over here. That would certainly be unfortunate. These units provide immense value, especially if you're trying to set up boating plays down the line. We see Status going for the typical Babylon play. Does he have the settler? Yeah, he's got it on over here. Just warriors and cities for now. And MJ really not liking her spot, apparently. She's lost quite a bit at home, and Anti just stacking on warriors. At this point, it wouldn't be wise to hit into him anymore anyways, I don't think. And MJ's gonna need some assistance from Sooty, definitely. Wonder what they're planning. I think they should definitely start getting that Watcher production going now. I have advocated in the past as Sumeria and Babylon are fighting down here. Wow! Okay, no. I just thought he might have taken out a settler there, but no, it was probably just a warrior. Maybe with a worker underneath, but I don't think so, because there's 2 workers left. I don't think Status would have made 3 workers by this point. And Sdn, now with his Golden Age, you can see he's got, he's been banking on getting that Golden Age. Oh, he hasn't mined any bonus grasslands so far, so he was definitely looking to get that. And that's probably why he asked as well for the desert irrigation bonus, because if you're planning on taking Golden Age, then irrigating those deserts, which he's preparing to do right now, is immense value. Those are some great tiles, especially with the commerce from the incense too. He's going to be booming. I like to see it. And Antin, more warriors coming out. Looks like he's looking to plant another city even, maybe. As the Aztecs are still sitting on 1 at home there. At least MJ able to take out that MP promotion for the Jaguar. That's big as well. And second city for the Iroquois, still not within range of those forces, able to chop that wetland. Luckily, this is OB MPT, where the wetland chops are much shorter than a regular MPT. But still, it's a pain to get through that, and you can see how far behind that has set Readbob. At least gets that second city, both of them on hills and on river, so that is nice. But it's not ideal Iroquois circumstances by any stretch of the imagination. Status still occupied with cleaning up that 1 Enkidu in his land. Well, he's probably not so much bothered about cleaning up, but just rather making it, walling it off of your cities is most important. And it looks like the Babylonians are not going to be struggling too hard with that one. Mine's about to come through on that road, so that tells me he's also looking to take his Golden Age soon. I wonder if anybody's tacking into mathematics. And this is what I like to see from Sooty. It looks like he's got that water out. He's fishing for Golden Age to get that production going and turn it up to another level. We've seen him mine these bonus grasslands though, so he's not as confident in taking that early Golden Age. Can't guarantee that, of course, in his spot. And finally, all those impies have been cleared out of MJ's land. On the other side though, Anti has been doing the exact same thing to her. Wonder what she's going to do with these Jaguars before they start all getting cleaned up. Maybe move them a bit around, try and hit for some roads, or move them onto the next enemy even. I wouldn't advocate for just letting them being cleaned up one after the other though. I think there's some more value to be gotten out of that. And more impies coming on over to her. She's not going to like to see that, as the archer coming on through, beating back those Jaguars, and Anti decides to, just roll with it, gets the promotion. He's loving his situation at this point, I bet. Forest first in cap, Golden Age taken. Oh, he took that earlier as well, but right, that's the maximum OPness with the 3 shield tile that he's currently not able to use, but if he needed to, it's right there. Babylon still not with their GA, but it can't be taken all that much longer, I don't think, unless Sdn were to disband that Enkidu, which is certainly a possibility for him. I wouldn't be surprised to see mathematics actually come through for Statis though. Still only that 1 single watcher. I wonder what the idea is. Maybe just make barracks in the other cities first before start producing them out of them. And the 3rd settler out now for Readbob. Gonna plant along the river again, and probably just planning to colonize the horses over there. Very bold decision not to put any units on your horse though, because I feel like you'd really want that. Funnily enough, actually, his iron is just as close as his horses are. It's 3 tiles away for both of them. That's hilarious, isn't it? On the map where you're supposed to have horse and iron far away, he's just in the middle between the 2 due to unfortunate circumstances. And Sooty gets another hut here. No barbs. That means technology, gold, or maps coming out of this one. Hopefully not the latest, but yeah, MJ saying nice, so that definitely was a technology for Sooty. Love to see it for them. Some things at least going right. And a settler now out finally for MJ2. There you can see it's planted northwest, decent city spot. Still a few bonus grasslands for that to utilize. And with her golden age, I don't actually remember seeing her win a combat with a jaguar, but she must have surely won one at this point, right? I think she cleaned up an impy with a jaguar there earlier, actually, so she's been able to make great use of those bonus grasslands, I'm pretty sure. And the war chariots are starting to arrive near Iroquois, and probably gonna be able to get that golden age. However, actually, to my surprise, rather going towards the west, and you can't attack through this jungle. Good decision by Readbob not to plant here. That would have been an attackable city. Now the only way to get to the Iroquois would be all the way around west or through these hills on the east, where, again, Readbob would have vision of anything if it went, if an attack were to be prepared. Good RNG still for Readbob. I think he's been rolling pretty favorably. The only problem for him is his spawn location in general. Other than that, he's probably happy with this game, how it has turned out. It's not all that often you get to 3 cities relatively early on in the middle of the map. And he's getting towards those horses too. Looks like he'll be colonizing them soon. Maybe a few upgrades to get into his golden age and then start production. And in this spot, you can very reasonably opt for some swordsmen too, if you think about that. So we might see that actually come through as well. Interesting roading going on for Egypt, though. I wonder what the rationale behind that one is. Maybe trying to find a secret route towards an enemy, loop around, surprise them a bit. Don't see the play right now, but anyways, it's an interesting idea. And MJ, I like that move now, moving on with that Jaguar Warrior, trying to get as much value out of it as possible and get some scouting going. And that's Golden Age over here. Iroquois giving it over to Babylon. Wow. They must have done that intentionally, but that is just what Status wanted, I'm sure. He's happy with that one. And that Enkidu is elite, so he probably failed in taking the Golden Age from Sdn earlier. So Status just getting exactly what he asked for there is pretty nice, and I wonder why Readbob did opt for that attack. Maybe thinking that a Golden Age now is better than later. But either way, you can see she's really worried about what might be coming from the Zulu here, and you can see the veteran MP at this point, it's not what you want to deal with if you're playing the Aztecs. You would love to much rather make offensive plays, and that's not going to be happening for her, I don't think. Even with the archers mixed in there, as you can see. Not that easy to deal with, for sure. And the war chariots have just gone towards the west so far. Looks like Sooty is content with the vision that he's got with that one warrior here, and instead now opts for the sneak onto the Sumerians. Might be able to get a golden age over there. We'll see if he succeeds in that. And Sdn is gonna have to keep some reinforcements in his backline cities. Can't get overconfident. No vision for him at all in the east. He knows that there's 2 enemies towards his east. I suspect he knows anyways, because he's seeing the units. But he's only got this one sentry Enkidu over there in the south, which I have to question. Gotta be honest. That's not ideal, I don't think. And walls going up in Teotihuacan. Size 1 city, but immediately the attack comes from inside the city. Goes real bad though, as Anti gets the promotion. It's a real rough look. Might have made it work in Teotihuacan. I'm really not sure what MJ just did there. I think she might have also pop rushed something though. Not sure. At least able to survive with that archer here. And she'll take those trades. 1 for 1 is probably okay in her spot. Lots of archers being made though by the Zulu. In the long run, the 2 versus 3 city situation isn't gonna turn out in her favor. And Sooty, I don't think he's made any more war chariots at home. I think this is just too late. He's made a fourth city now, so he's not worried. He's made a coastal, which I like, so that opens up more play opportunities. But I think he's going for too big a stack here. He's thinking, all right, I'm chopping barracks and elephantine. I'm getting my golden age in a second, and then I'll pump war chariots out of 4 cities. I don't think that was the play on this map. I think the early kill onto the Zulu would have been the one avenue you would have wanted to take. And the attack comes through onto the archer on the forest. And worst case, no, alright, sigh of relief there for MJ. Had that archer survived with 1 HP, it would have been the worst case, because it's, I guess, still could have provided defensive bombard this way. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, she loses the elite, I think, even. Attacking into the Zulu elite on the forest. The 1 HP, it's tempting, but probably wasn't the moment to look for that attack. And now the small archer stack is coming on over. Hopefully she's going to be able to hold on to all of her roads, but I'm not sure that it's going to be that easy for her. She's got that Jaguar warrior on the Iroquois, though. Maybe she's going to be able to snatch that worker. As another settler has come out for Readbob, and he's not colonizing. He's just going to plant that city on the hill or something to hook the res for himself. He spotted that Jaguar warrior, though, as it now moves into his land. Is MJ going to be able to pick off the worker? No, she's moving onto Salamanca, actually. Might go for the pillage. Does do that. Got cancelled, though, and the promotion. Oh, hate to see it there for Readbob. Now at least able to take out the unit. So overall good for him. Gets to keep his improvement. Just paid the price of 1 unit for it. I think that's worth it for him. As Anti able to rescue that elite MP from the forest. Really going from bad to worse for MJ. She desperately needs some relief that I don't think is on the way. Unfortunately for her. And Stead is now even feeling bold enough to plant 3 tiles apart, despite that hill offering such a nice settling opportunity. He's going for the more score-orientated plants, with Ashur and Nineveh already. With the border expanse, you can see his avenue in this game is pretty defined. 8 units coming towards MJ. She's gonna need to get maybe another spearman or 2 out to really hold on to both cities and the road. If you lose any of these 3 tiles, it's over. So can't afford that to happen. And the Watcher is really taking a patient run all the way around the back. If he actually managed to get onto which doesn't have any Enkidu in it right now, might even be a sneaky kill opportunity for Sooty. That would be surprising. Gotta remember though that ideally you want to target Team Antiquity. Any kill they get is pretty much as good as the tournament victory for them at this point. So especially if you're Team Halu. If you're Team Halu, you need Team Anti to get last place in both these games today without picking up a single kill. So that should be their #1 priority. Team Cheeze, I guess, has the luxury of playing a little bit slower, where a single kill for Team Antiquity wouldn't immediately knock them out of the running. Alright, turn about to end. Let's see, is Cheeze, or Anti rather, gonna be able to pull off any shenanigans onto MJ here of Team Cheeze. He's taking it slow, I assume, waiting for all these archers to come on in. The Iroquois now with the horses hooked, gonna start to build the chariots. None of them produced just now, but he's gonna be switching over to that production in all cities, I assume. These war chariots not quite yet spotted, I don't think, by the Sumerians. Might have been earlier, but we don't know that. At least I didn't catch it. So I don't think Sdn is quite aware of this going on. It's not a lot of them anyways, but he's planting real far apart and not keeping any Enkidu in his capital. Oh! He might have caught wind of something going on over here, because he's sending a chariot out north without even any barbarians being in the area. So maybe he's realized that some stuff might be going on there. I wonder how you would have figured out to do that. But anyways, he's checking for any possible interference, and he's gonna be finding some. That's probably gonna save him in the end. yeah, he knows something is up, definitely. Moving units on over to the northern border. And I think that's going to be all fine for him then. He's still stacking chariots, and there he goes, able to spot the enemy war chariots that are just in a real awkward spot north of him that almost could have turned out bad for him. But I like the patience from Sooty in that play. I don't like it in a macro sense, because again, as I said earlier, I think early action onto Zulu would have been the go-to play. But here in this specific scenario, he's played it slow against Sdn and almost could have found a weak backline city there. Now though, the Sumerians know about what's going on, and I don't think they're gonna be such easy pickings anymore. I wonder why Sooty is not just attacking into this though. Readbob's warrior on a grassland tile. Yeah, there you go. Just take it out and get your golden age. Nice go in there. 4 city GA finally for the Egyptians. And now he's becoming a serious threat as his teammate might be about to go down. No reinforcement for that road, which is so crucial. She doesn't have a spearman for it, apparently. And that's gonna be lost as Anti's capital on fire now. There he goes. Goes for the reasonable play, just takes out the road. I don't think he even lost a unit. Maybe might have lost an archer. Not entirely sure, but he's gonna take that any day of the week. Gets onto the road. He's gonna be able to pillage that, and this is pretty much game over for MJ. She's not gonna be recovering from this. And he's just loving this spot. He can now think about whether or not he just wants to choke her out and keep her irrelevant all game, or if he wants to risk it and go for the kill, potentially opening himself up to a retake. But you know, a single kill for Team Anti eliminates Team Halu from first place contention. So maybe the prospect of that could be tempting enough for him, especially if he takes out a member of Team Cheeze, because Team Cheeze would be right. You take out a member from Team Cheeze, which makes it really difficult for Team Cheeze to catch you and score. And the point that you get eliminates Team Halu, so I think it's actually correct to just take out MJ and risk dying yourself, because at that point it doesn't really matter that much anymore whether or not you survive. Looks like Sooty's still wrapping around with these watchers despite having been spotted, not throwing them in there and not retreating. It's an interesting decision. He's still within vision of that Enkidu warrior though, so Sdn's got that all protected. Let's see what Anti does here. He doesn't have that many archers, so just hitting into one of the cities right now might be overeager. How many defensive units? There's not that many. So especially if you figure Teotihuacan might have weak numbers, could try that. He's worried about Readbob apparently though, who's looking to prepare an attack onto him potentially. And I wonder if that's gonna change his strategy in the east. And it looks like he's settled on just blocking the tiles for now. Blocking the road connection, and then, yeah, 2 archers on each of these tiles, doing a decent job of minimizing the amount of workable tiles for the Aztec right now. Only 1 2-shield tile that she can work with the 2 food on it. Just one of them. And that's gone now as well, so it's bad news for her. It's just bad news. And status, he's got that 1 Enkidu still from earlier on him, but that's all there is. And look at the vision he has as well with the warrior chain here in the north. Just 1 more sentry and he's all covered. Get out a few Kuras, 1 east, 1 west, and you can plant cities all game. And sit back, enjoy that first place, it seems. Sooty's war chariots have now moved into Sumeria. And I don't know if he's got any moves left, I wouldn't think so. But Sdn is making sure to cover those tiles. Kish may be a little bit weak right now, but with just 2 war chariots, that shouldn't be the greatest of your worries. However, it's on a hill, so he sees that it's empty. He moves onto the capital, though. Interesting. Let's see if that maybe surprises Sdn. Doesn't go for an attack, and instead it's Sdn who hits into the Egyptian units, and looking like he's able to take out a lot of them. Sooty moves that one to safety. That's good for him with the retreat and the 2 moves. Sdn still looking to catch him and clean that one up though. And he's going to be able to keep on preparing that horseman stack. I think he's also happy with how that one played out, and reasonable decision by Sooty not to try and hit the city on the hill. But Sdn just had enough defenders at home to deal with that. Oh, what happened over here? Wonder why Anti would have opened up that grassland again. Okay, so you can see the plan for Anti here. It looks like MJ is leaning into heavy trades and not getting rewarded. Team Cheeze really relying on Sooty being able to make something happen down the line here. Alright. Yeah, I think the action on the eastern frontier is dying down now. We should be looking more towards Egypt and Iroquois right now. As interesting city location there for Readbob, that freshwater lake. Allows for a hill plant that I don't think is very good, because it really makes your empire huge, and there's enemies literally on every side of you, so I don't think it's a good plant. Your teammate is Sdn though, so never mind, that's not an enemy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like it then. I mean, you have got the front to the south and the front to the north. It's tricky though, because enemies can come in here from the east and from the south, and there are so many roads you need to defend. I don't think you can actually afford to go for plans like these, but he says, I don't care, I need a lot of score, I want the freshwater city, and the hill protection is nice, lots of bonus grasslands to work once that city goes down, and he's building up those chariots too. It's not like he's just waiting to die. He's definitely looking to build up a force of his own. Horseman upgrades for both Sumeria and the Iroquois are also going to be quite expensive. Well, not that horsemen in general are expensive, but it looks like both of them are heavily building chariots. So lots of cities are going to be required to stem the cost of that gold for the upgrade. And Egypt now with the Golden Age. I wonder where Anti would have seen that. Where could Egypt have taken out one of Anti's units? Oh, I must have missed a warrior of his or something getting up there. Either way, Sooty with his 4-city GA that he had taken before must have a respectable number of chariots at this point. 10, alright, he's getting there. No slouch, definitely. Zulu all over her. Yeah, poor MJ. It's the same look as yesterday, right? Anti harassing an Aztec player. But luckily, at least this time around, everybody is still alive, so nobody is completely out of the game just yet. And as long as Team Antiquity doesn't get any kills, it's still the cap is on fire. What's going on there for Anti? I definitely feel like I've seen more capitals on fire this tournament than in past ones, especially from good players. But you know, I guess sometimes that just happens. Not that it's going to be all that consequential, right? But it's a lot of production that you lose out on every time that occurs. The Iroquois. I wonder what the strategy is going to be. I mean, I said this before, right? The map is pretty decent for Team Halu. Who are they going to look to take out? Both of them are going to be featuring horseman stacks. I mean, I guess the Egyptians would be an easy target because they're in a corner. Nobody's easily going to be able to retake. The only issue is you really want to take a member from Team Antiquity out. And if that is the case, maybe going for the Babylonians would be the play, but they're always a tough task to take on. Egypt could kill Iroquois, but yeah, that's not how they're playing. Well, we don't know that yet. I mean, Egypt isn't attacking anyone yet, so you don't really know what they're opting for. But I agree, Egypt needed some, or not needed, but could have gone for some earlier watchers and attacked really anybody on this map. They're just going for the little bit later watcher stack. And yeah, of course they shouldn't be playing like that, right? They should be targeting Team Antiquity if they want to have a chance of coming back in this tournament. We'll see if they succeed here. It's only one game left after this one, so you're gonna have to start now if you want to make any comebacks happen. And Team Cheeze really staring down deep barrel at this point, with MJ virtually being taken out of the game. That is still such free building for him. He's got to make sure not to die though, if he's the one who is heavily going for the scoring approach. And Sooty now starting to get those watcher hits on over. Looks like he might actually go for the Iroquois for all we know, but there's just no avenue to get onto them without crossing enemy vision. That's the unfortunate part for him. Maybe just looking to get through to somebody else though, but with this amount of vision being set up, I don't think you can realistically attack SDN or Readbob for what it's worth. Look at this SDN. He's playing Babylon even harder than Babylon. Three tiles apart or 3 tiles away from his capital are all these cities. Got Enkidu's in them, getting the border expanse in all of them. He's got a plan there, no doubt. Even able to force a lot of war chariots to defend against that one regular unit in the north. Maybe just an archer plus warrior on this tile could have done it. Gotten the job done for Sooty, but he just takes out the Enkidu. Alright then, that's also a good option. Swade said yesterday how he thinks prioritizing clearing enemy offensive vision especially is very pivotal on MPTs, so maybe that is the right play for Sooty here, as he's still gathering some of these war chariots. You can see they're coming out. He's getting 2 per turn or something. It's definitely not to be joked with. I just don't think he can attack Team Halu at all, and I don't think he should try to anyways. But what do you go for in that case? And he's just sitting there with walled cities, just awaiting the attack that's obviously going to come in onto him, at least if the enemy team is looking to play this one well. Actually, what he could do is plant a canal city here and get galleys into this lake and land the Iroquois. I almost want to message him that, because it would be so entertaining to watch. But I don't think he's going to do it. And I can't message people strategic information during the game. If I could, though, I really would. Because I have to see this happening in a tournament. Canal City plays on a randomly generated MPT map too. That would be gorgeous. Look at this. It's such a good opening. You see all of this. You have perfect vision. How is this not tempting him to make the canal boating play? And it looks really as though Egypt is looking to attack Team Halu, which I don't think this is possible or smart. I understand the rationale of trying to say, hey, Team Anti are really far away, they have good defensive civs. I don't know where they are even exactly. I have good maps of the enemy in front of me, and every point counts, so I want to just see who I can kill for some points. The only issue being, these points don't matter all that much if Team Anti secures the win with this game here. And your teammate's already under such heavy pressure from him that I feel like if you're Egypt, you gotta be the one attacking Team Anti. Lots of bowmen moving out for status. What's he doing? Is he looking to make offensive stuff happen? Looks like he's roading. Anti is wandering in. Yeah, I think people are not, especially people like Readbob who haven't played in this tournament yet. He might have forgotten how quickly the turn timer expires, or the turn limit rather. There's only 72 turns in this game, not 90 as is in regular MPT. So you gotta upgrade a little bit earlier than you would do in normal MPT. Yeah. But on the other hand, if they have enough gold for a larger upgrade, that's fine too. It's just that he's wasting a few turns of his golden age as of now. interesting. I think Ztatiz is just trying to road up to someone right now. That's why he's brought the workers and the bowmen stacked along. Don't know what the idea is for him. Like, I didn't think he was actually gonna go for an attack this game. Maybe he's trying to get a road up to retake if somebody kills somewhere or whatever. I don't know what the rationale is exactly, but maybe there is a plan there. Still, Anti very skeptical of this of these Iroquois plays. Wonder if he's actually gonna go for the kill onto MJ if he fears that the Iroquois might get that big of a stack ready. They only started building horsemen very, very late, so they don't have a lot of chariots. Look at this. They're not going for a massive upgrade. I love how Anti is saying this as though he was implying that the other two civs should be targeting the Iroquois more. He's not even pressuring them. He's just got vision there. Like, no, if it's not like all three. It's not like he's just he can just sit there and say, oh, why are the enemies not attacking the other enemy if he's not even attacking the other enemy, right? But I get what he's saying. He's surprised that the Iroquois are able to afford to build up so freely despite being in the very middle of the map with underwhelming spawn. But they aren't even that big. He must expect like a 40 stack of mounted warriors at this point, but there's not even 10. So I don't think he's going to be too unhappy or upset once the upgrade actually comes through. And War Chariot's now gearing up on the northern border of the Iroquois. Looks like he is looking to go for Allegheny, forcing his way in towards Oil Springs now. I'll see how Readbob pivots. I think this is a possible kill. Like, with this many War Chariots, if you go for the Iroquois on multiple sides especially, you might be able to take him out, because we just saw how they don't have a ton of units. 20 turn mark has been reached, and people are gonna have to start making stuff happen now. Babylon on fire. Everybody gets their turn at burning caps. I wonder. Oops. I wonder how this is gonna turn out. Who's getting that first kill? Or maybe I'll make a poll in chat actually. 10-minute poll. Who's getting the... Oops. Let me see if I can do that. Minute poll. Let's see what the guys in chat think. Of course, by the time you hear me talking about this, the poll will just have concluded and no kill will have come through yet, so we'll see how correct you all are. Alright, another turn elapses and in move the Egyptian chariots. It's not an incredible mass of chariots. Is he just gonna go for the straight attack onto Allegheny? No. He fortifies for now. The only way to get into Iroquois backline would be to move around the east or to take this hill right here. I think what he's looking to do, however, is trying to get the war chariots through from the west here. He was trying to clear out this Enkidu on the hill so that he could move through freely without being spotted. The jungle is making it a tad difficult for him though. And I wonder if he's just going to go with this stack before the northern ones arrive to reinforce with. He's getting yet more out of his home cities, and he feels very safe. Nobody with any boats out yet, not even Kuros to cover, which, again, I have to always criticize. MJ begging him to kill. Apparently, she's still trading aggressively into his MP, not getting a whole lot out of that. Let's see how many units she has left. Oh, it's really... She's not even doubled up in units since 30 turns ago or something, because she's really just been trading apparently. And he's really alright. He's really scared of Sooty for some reason here, and maybe that actually ends up occurring, right? We don't know. He's now going for the hit onto the hill, and he's taken it. Is he gonna be able to hold on? He doesn't get to move on with his stack now. He's trying to take it back, But good rolls for Readbob now. Oh boy. That's some difficult trades there for Sooty, and his stack is getting smaller and smaller with every unit. Now he finally gets onto the hill. He still might be moving through to Antiquity, of course, but I think he's not looking to do that. He's trying to get onto these Iroquois roads. And he's taken the one south of Allegheny, it seems. The city is now pretty scarcely defended. Is he gonna move on to it? He's pillaging the road even. So now that's the horse is cut and no possible reinforcement, and now he's going for the hit. Oh boy, how's this gonna turn out? I'll try and get a save in before all these units die. Still some archers left in the city, and it looks like Readbob has held on there. No, another archer goes down. I'll just save in case the kill comes through. Real low HP units, and there are some war chariots still left from the north. Now the chariots come in with the reinforcement. That was a clutch retake there for the road, and he's gonna hold on to the city now. Some war chariots still alive for Egypt, but lots of chariots still left over there. I don't think you can upgrade though without the horses. I think now that the horses have been pillaged, you can't even upgrade to mounted warriors, even though you have the attack. That's funny, isn't it? And Sooty gonna go for the re-attack next turn, I imagine, with the war chariots from the north. Maybe gonna have to wait 2 turns though. Oh, that's gonna be a few more spearmen in that city, I have to feel like. And I don't think Readbob's gonna end up dying to this. And his wishes have been heard though. And Egypt is getting onto Iroquois. It's just that Anti doesn't know of all of this happening. He's gonna be surprised when neither of those 2 enemies end up sending stacks towards him. 2, well, spearmen, a warrior. All of this is gonna move into Allegheny, and that's gonna be a tough city to take out. Grand River empty even now. But unless he takes this hill, which I would have advocated for doing earlier, instead of hitting straight for the road or for the city, if he doesn't take this hill, he's not going to have a shot at moving into this empty city at all. The jungle barrier really paying off for the Iroquois now. And looks like he's gonna hold on to his tiles for now as the turn ends. How is Sooty gonna go about this? He's sending more war chariots in. Maybe he's gonna play patient now, but those spearmen into Allegheny should dissuade him from attacking. He goes for the hill. I like that play. As I said earlier, he gets it. Is he going to be able to move onto it with all of his war chariots? Though no, again, he's slow on the reinforce. Would have been such a good move, I feel like. Take this hill and then move in with the other war chariots from the north. So you've got 2 cities to threaten. I think that most definitely could have taken out Readbob. But instead, he's kind of in a weird spot here where most of his war chariots are 1 HP and he's not able to threaten a whole lot anymore. Looks like Aztecs are also still alive for now, but Anti has been flirting with the idea of trying to go for a kill there. Horsemen have been upgraded by Sumeria, but that same upgrade cannot come in for the Iroquois until they rehook this horse. Road taken to Oil Springs. Is the pillage gonna come through? It is. Alright, that's 2 cities cut off now for Readbob. And the grasp tightens around his neck. He's able to secure the control over this crucial hill, though, so Grand River is not going to be threatened. The mountain as well makes it impossible for the war chariots to come in from the southwest. That is a big relief for him too, as MJ is still completely choked out. And Team Cheeze, are they going to be able to get at least 1 kill here? We don't know just yet. These war chariots have also not come in yet. It looks like maybe Sooty's kind of given up on the play and trying to restock, build up some more forces. His golden age is gonna be over pretty soon here, if not already, I imagine. And this hill is not gonna be lost anymore for Readbob the Archer too. That's a great idea. Archer stack now coming on over to deal the final blow. He's moving on south and he could hit into Cattaraugus. Not anymore though with the border expand, the clutch border expand. Makes it so you can't double move onto Niagara Falls or Cattaraugus. So I mean, he obviously wasn't likely to win that anyways, but it still would have been hilarious and just got denied by the culture building that had been built in Allegheny. And there we go. War chariots start being attacked. Sooty's got still that stack up north. but the road is rehooked for the Iroquois, and that's the upgrade about to come in Niagara Falls. Pretty sure that's why he's moving the war chariots into the cities now. He's got the road, he's got the gold, I imagine. How many horses do they have between the two of them, Team Halu? Oh, that's not Team Halu. Alright, a few mounted starting to come in now, that's not really something to speak of. 11 horses for Sdn, neither of them able to create a doom stack here. And I don't think even together with their combined forces right now they would be able to take out Babylon, much less Zulu. So it looks like Team Anti is gonna take away first place in this one. And if not first place, then it's gonna be at least enough points to secure the first place of the overall tournament. Oh man. It's gonna be a tough one to look back on for Team Cheeze and Halu. They weren't able to pull through with their game plans, I don't think. It's not all over yet, though. It looks like Sooty is preparing to move in his stack. He's within range of a Legionnaire now, and it looks like he's going to try to go for the re-attack. This road here is still very much capturable, though. He's got a few war chariots here. I think he should try for the road if he's going to go for the attack. Is he going to do that, though? Oh, he's trying it now. Alright, that's the right play. But in come the mounted warriors trying to defend here. He doesn't get it in time, though. If the road is pillaged, that is bad news. Oh man, he's losing a lot of units inside the city, though, and he doesn't have the tile now. I think Sooty needs to reinforce this road, though, in order to make sure that no chariots start reinforcing. Oh, yeah, good choice. I think he's got it on lock now. This city should go down. Elegany, maybe with the Control-Shift-G? No option there. What? We don't even drop? Alright, looks like we did drop. But that is the kill for Team Cheeze. Well played, Sooty. He was able to force it through. Good job focusing on the road and holding on to it in the end. Nicely done there. But that's one member of Team Halu going down. And that means Team Halu eliminated from first place contention. Almost certainly. Well, unless Sdn makes a quadra kill now. So yeah, unfortunate for them. And that is Allegheny being captured by Egyptians. We'll have to boot up the reload for this one. And I'll see which save file I can use for that. Well played to Sooty though. Much better showing than yesterday, where he got unfortunate with that 1v1 against Kismix Sumerians. I'm trying to see right now which save file I can use, because it would be very convenient if I could use the second one. Oh, it didn't go through though. We only have one. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll check though in the hot seat to see how much the Aztecs have left in there, or the Iroquois rather. So we can see if we can just reload with the AI. Yeah, should be very much possible. Yep, we'll just do that with the AI. Okay. Good enough then. That shouldn't take all that long, luckily. All right. Needing one more player in the reload, and then we can go. Who is it? Status. All waiting for him. And I wonder if Team Anti are going to try for the retake on that Egyptian city, or if SDN is going to try to do that. The resources for that are certainly there for both parties, but Anti is probably preoccupied with taking out the Aztecs for now. Status needing a while for the restart, he says. It's all good, though. We're about to get there. Classic Steam shenanigans. What would a CIV3 tourney be without that? Aren't I right? Alright, there we go. Ready for the reload. And I'm excited to see how this one turns out then. The unit movement is also not going to be a problem this time around, I don't think. Looks like someone didn't get into the reload. Anti. Alright. Guess we'll have to do it again. Alright, unsuccessful reload. Someone didn't get in, so here we go again. Team Anti on the cusp of securing that tournament victory. Status gonna be very happy to have been in that game where that happened. Eight points is the maximum score gap you can make up per game. So if Anti's leads is 9 points after this game, that would be the tournament victory secured. Oh, in the meantime, let's look at the standings again. As you can see right there, the lead right now is 14 points. So Cheeze's team would need to cut the lead by at least 6. Oh boy, by at least 6 points in order to be able to even force a tie. It seems very much implausible here. They need the scoring victory in order to be able to do that. And that looks very improbable at this stage. Okay, almost ever able to get the reload up. One player missing. There we go. Oop. So everybody got in. God bless. Alright then. We're ready to launch. Hopefully with the AI, that kill should be able to be reproduced cleanly. I hope the catapults won't make any trouble, which they sometimes do. Was surprised to see they even had any. Didn't think the Iroquois would be the ones to make some. But here we go. Into the reload, everybody get back here. So, let's see if the kill comes through again. Oh, that's looking bad. Or is it? Nice! Reminding everybody to mute, and I think we can roll on from here. Wait a sec. Just to make sure he knows that he, needs to at least wait a turn before moving on with all of those that should be out of moves, especially these ones I think shouldn't have any moves left. Okay, but that's not too important. We've still got 15 turns left, so that's plenty of time for everybody to make stuff happen if they feel the need to. This is a troubling sight though for Sumeria. They see this massive bowman stack walking towards the land, veterans, one elite on top. That's probably making it very uncomfortable to even try and move out with these horsemen to retake the city from the Egyptians. So Sooty might be safer than he actually realizes. He, of course, has no idea that that's going on, and that Babylon's putting heavy pressure onto Sdn South now. So we'll have to see how he plays that. Is he just going to pump all his units into that captured city? Or is he also going to try to get over onto Sdn? Taking out Sdn would be smart for either team here, because you need... Well, no, it wouldn't be. What am I saying? It wouldn't be smart for Team Cheeze. Team Cheeze, of course, wants Team Anti to finish last. But in general, I'm just saying, in general, it's a good idea to take out one team entirely before focusing onto the other. Doesn't quite apply here for Team Cheeze, as Anti has arrived at MJ, actually. I'll take some screen prints of these stacks that we see in these next couple of turns, in case they might become relevant at some point. And Egypt starting to swarm out with these war chariots now, trying to get a better sense of the south of the map, where the sentries are, how close the rest of the enemies are, and who he can potentially look to attack next. If Team Cheeze were able to get 2 more kills in this one, maybe take out Anti and Sdn. I haven't done the math on that, but maybe that would be enough. Hypothetically speaking, let's say they get first place in score and take out 2 more enemies. That would be 8 points for them. That's not enough. It's not enough if Anti is able to secure second place and score, which he would in that case, even without the kill onto MJ that we think is likely to come through soon. So, I don't think realistically Cheeze's team can recover from this one. Just looks too good for Anti. Look at this score coming in from Babylon. He only has 5 cities, quote unquote, but the area is massive there with the double border expanse. Hate to see it for the other teams. That is Babylon in a nutshell. And yeah, I was just gonna say what MJ just said. And he might just go for the attack next turn. Wouldn't be surprised if he went straight ahead. Just looking to prepare that apparently. See, maybe you can investigate Teotihuacan before the attack comes through. Okay, there's about 10 units in there. He's not attacking Tenochtitlan, is he? About 10 units in Teotihuacan. He's starting to attack now, trying to force out that defensive bombard. And there we go. We're trying to keep track of how many units go down so we know when to save. Alright, still some defensive bombard apparently. against these archers, but you can see the units are already running few. At least a promotion coming through, but oops. Trying to get some saves in here before the actual kill is achieved. A few warriors still left on top, but I think it's just too many archers at this point. Look at this. Starting to clean up the 1 HPs and everything now. It's not looking sustainable for the Aztecs, really isn't, but it's also not that many archers left over. Still a few impies on top though, and it looks like she's just barely about to break now with the impies also attacking from Anti. Good RNG though for the Aztecs, and finally the spearman goes down. That's certainly supposed to be it, right? Wow, another good roll for the Aztecs. A promotion on that warrior. Oh, I can't believe it. Has she held on for this turn? Or what's the matter here? Incredibly, it seems like it. But there comes in another attack from the impies from the south. Another promotion though. Oh, how close is this? She's actually held on for this turn. Is she able to pop rush a spearman? That would be massive. A veteran spearman next turn in Teotihuacan. It's just a regular. Maybe the barracks disbanded due to monetary problems. But honestly, what a turn of events! Against all odds, she's managed to hold on for this turn at least. And that's some archers going down for Cheeze. Is he actually not able to take this kill? I can't believe it. It seems like she's actually successfully defended against this. Just a few low HP impies left, and now all of a sudden, maybe Anti is in trouble at home. He only has 3 impies on offense. How many units does he have total? Not that many. It is feasible for him to go down here. Look at the amount of war chariots that are still on the map. Now, if Sooty forms one giant stack, maybe he's able to get it. Oh, MJ, able to survive this one. I didn't expect it. There was 10 units in there. I guess, in retrospect, 10 units behind walls with only 15 or so archers attacking is good odds, but with all the impies that were scattered around the cities, I thought almost certainly she wasn't going to be able to survive. She says 8 units only in there. All right, it is. It is not that far-fetched, I don't think, in terms of RNG. I haven't done the math, obviously, but Stat is still in the area. He's got that massive bowman stack around, maybe looking to take out Egypt. I don't know what the idea is. He's not going over to Sumeria. I respect it, because actually attacking Sumeria is not something you like to do, especially with just bowmen who aren't superb offensive units. And with MJ surviving, maybe there's a glimmer of hope. Still, Sooty, he doesn't have those forces all gathered up on the front just yet. Able to move in closer, get a better sense of that land here that Cheeze has. I don't think they have map-making tact, so I don't think they would have traded tax here between Team Cheeze. As Anti's impies apparently still getting some decent rolls here, able to move them out onto the mountain. If you're not careful there as Aztecs, you might end up giving over a military-grade leader to the Zulu, which would be disastrous. Poor defense effectively on this mountain, so shouldn't probably try and attack into it, especially if you're still on a low unit number at home. Yeah, that is just amazing. Look at this. With 6 military units, she's able to survive. And Team Cheeze, both of them with better results than yesterday. Gonna be very happy with how this has played out so far, comparatively. Especially considering what could have happened. Status might be able to use this Iroquois road in order to now threaten Allegheny. With all these bowmen coming over, it's going to be very difficult for Sooty to amass enough units to take out the Zulu. A 1-for-1 trade would be... I don't know what that would be for them. I don't think it matters. I don't think either way they have a chance at getting first here. No matter if they trade 1-for-1 or not, or no kills at all. But Sooty is definitely gonna look for it. It would be, of course, impressive for him if he was able to take out Anti. That's not what people expected coming in here. Especially after yesterday, you have to imagine. And Sdn, despite having grown big, no double border expanse for him. So the Babylonians, with their score pump, able to keep at least at least keep being competitive in terms of score. Still, Sdn by a decent margin, #1 in score, but after his teammate has died, he's not going to be able to take that scoring victory here. At least he shouldn't be. Now let's see if Sooty is able to spot this massive bowman stack now. He's got this one watcher right here that I think might be moving for this hill or something, just to get some better vision. For this hill maybe. So no matter where he moves it, he probably sees these bowmen unless he takes this road to get over to the Zulu and try and attack with it. That could potentially cost him a lot if he wasn't able to spot these bowmen this turn. And then I wonder what his reaction would be anyways, as the Aztecs having managed to take out another MP. MJ's on the hunt now. He's trying to keep Antiquity weak, but he's stacking impies right now, I assume. So, yeah. The later you attack him, if you're Sooty, the less likely it is that you're actually going to get that kill with so many walls and impies. However, he's now spotted that bowman stack, and that means he's going to have tough choices to make over these last few turns. What's he going to do with these watchers? He's still mainly walking forward with them, it seems. Yep, there he goes. He's trying to make stuff happen on that end. Wonder what his plan's going to be. Trying to take the roads first or just straight up hit somewhere. Don't think you can afford to take roads with such weak defensive units and no archers underneath, so should just go for the straight attack as far as I'm concerned. Where is that going to be, though? We'll have to wait and see for that. All these bowmen looking to, I guess, get to Allegheny as quickly as possible. And he's going to go onto the mountain, I assume. That would be the obvious play. Yep, there he goes. If no more roads are pillaged, he could get into the city. 1, 2, attack the city in 4 turns. 5 turns if the pillagers come through. So that's 1 more turn that Sooty might be able to buy for himself. But no more watcher rates coming through to the front. And I don't think this is quite enough to get the kill onto Anti, but who knows? The rolls could decide a lot here. And MJ has taken out another Zulu Impy over there. Sadly for her, no military grade leaders being gained. But she couldn't make armies anyways on 2 cities, so I guess it doesn't matter. In these circumstances, once it doesn't matter, is when you most often get those military grade leaders, for my opinion. So I'm surprised she hasn't gotten any yet. Horsemen being gathered at the border here. Looks like Sdn is looking to move out as late as possible to try and find a kill. And not all hope is lost if Team Anti actually ends up getting last place here. If Anti dies and somehow Status gets taken out by Sdn's horses, that might keep the tournament theoretically competitive and going into the last game. But a lot would need to happen for that to become a reality, and typically not many kills come through so late in the games from our experience. Sooty now moving into Zimbabwe, as well as the Ulundi, I imagine. This tile would be a decent one to threaten cities from, and that's exactly where he moves. Has now gone in. He might just try and take the road for now and then go from there. That's exactly what he's doing. Could also move this stack onto the southern road, so to cut off Zimbabwe, I think Anti would be able to retake in that scenario, though. Retake the roads, that is. He's able to hold on to the roads for now, and that's a lot of watcher rates already. Wasting their moves there. And he has enough units to hold on to this, I think, although he must also not waste his units in Ulundi. Move to the south comes in now, and trying to take out that road is Sooty. More units coming over from Anti, but he's pulling everything from the east. So maybe Sooty could now go for the fake out and actually move on over there. Lots of units being committed, actually. No, he's still committed to the south. I feel like that would be an amazing read to make if Sooty were now able to transition the aggression to the east. Maybe he's going for it now. Oh, he's woken up that stack. No, he's decided against it. All right. And he now plugging the holes here, keeping units on all those roads, while Sdn has left home and is trying to look for something. So he has not continued pillaging this road. I think that's a bad choice. He should invest 2 watcher rates from home or from Allegheny, and pillage these 2 roads, so to buy himself another turn before Status can attack. What's he gonna do with the remnants of his offensive stack now, though? Alright, he's blocking the roads now. Is he gonna go for the pillage? And he's just confident right now. Or maybe he's just hoping. We don't know. Sooty not moving the rest of that stack anymore this turn. And more impies coming out for the Zulu. That is going to be happy to get that forest tile after all. And Sooty now with only about 10 war chariots left total, not even full HP ones. Don't think it's likely to find any more kills here. Really would have liked to move on to Ulundi last turn. Wasn't enough though, sadly. Bowman arriving in Allegheny now. How many is that? What do we think? 20? 6, 8, 10. Yeah, pretty much exactly 20. So let's investigate Allegheny and get a sense of how much he's got in there. Oh, he's woken up his stack in the south now. All right. So that's about 12 units in Allegheny, 10 to 12. He's going on to Ulundi now. Antti needs to reinforce this, I think. He's pretty late on the reinforcement. He's losing a lot of units. Only 1 unit remaining. Oh boy, that Impy got in late. He's now started to reinforce. Zimbabwe could be low now, and that's exactly where Sooty is hitting. But the defensive bombard is enough to keep Antti alive there. Only 1 of the archers goes down. Man, Antti, you've got to be ready for that. That was a telegraphed play with the stack waking up so early. But he has defended now, and Ulundi, I think, was within a second or so of dying there. That was closer than I really expected. Oh, he's saying he wasn't a luck slider menu. I see. Well, maybe not the best time to open your F1 menu, but you know, he's the captain, I guess. He knows what's going on there. Whew, that was too close for comfort, at least for me. And Status, I expect to be moving in there into Allegheny now. Oh, nice attempt, though. MJ also trying to help out with whatever she's got. And the Egyptians funneling yet more units, even archers, into the city is a good idea. Hill being taken by Status now. Well, good enough, I suppose. 2 horses actually hooked by Egypt now. They've got the horse from the Iroquois. Don't see that too often. And they're trying everything, the last few units being used, but now with impies being healed up and in all the cities behind walls. And he's good. He's not gonna die there. And yes, yeah, that's just two little horses, I think, in order to actually get the kill onto Babylon. Don't see that happening either. I'm just trying to manage my Twitch chat here. Give me a second. Oh yeah. And I'm trying to make a new prediction so people can vote whether or not Antti will die. Or maybe let's vote on whether Egypt will die. Alright. In come the reinforcements into Allegheny. I don't think Status has got enough to kill this. The attack goes through though, and that's a lot of units in Allegheny, but also lots of bowmen going for the attack. Oh man, I don't think it's enough. There's wars in the city, but he's getting some decent kills there. It's not guaranteed. There's no 2 defense units in the city behind the walls, which would be a big bonus. Still full HP ones showing on top though, so I don't think Anna or Status has got enough. The roles can change quickly though, so you can't get overconfident if you're Egypt. He's got a few more archers coming it seems, but with the 4 HP on top I think he should be good against this. Lots of bowmen, I think 20 that was invested here, and I don't think they're going to be finding that kill. So nice job Sooty defending. He's definitely stepped up his play there after yesterday's unfortunate ending. And the military grade leader, are you kidding? There was one elite in there and he gets the grade leader? Nah, man. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, he's not going to get that army. He could get it home into a Lippy, but he's not going to be able to use that army anymore. But that's crazy. Those late game military grade leaders. We've all been there. As another turn has started. 4 turns left in this game. The Sumerians trying to make their play onto a card apparently. But for that one as well, Babylon just has enough units to defend that, as Aztecs are trying with a last-ditch effort, I guess. Thought they were hitting Ulundi, apparently not actually doing so. Ooh. We'll see how it turns out in the end. Oh boy, I'm starting another prediction here. 5 minutes for you guys. Well, when you hear this, the prediction will be already closed for 5 minutes, but your choice to decide. Will Anti die or not? I wonder what you guys would end up voting for in that scenario. Maybe I launched that prediction too late, but we'll see. That great leader being used as a sentry even. He doesn't even move it home. I love to see it. It's quite funny. And Sdn not moving in yet. He is patient with his force moves. We all know about that. And Anti, he's gonna survive, but the only real question is Sdn gonna be able to take somebody out? Don't expect that to end up being the case. And yeah, there he goes. That is good decision to put units all across his land, able to spot the horseman stack, and at this point the play is just too telegraphed in order to succeed, I don't think. Despite 20 bowmen being pretty much thrown to waste here by Status, he's not going to be killable. Sumeria, they got a lot of score, obviously, but it's just not... It's just not enough to kill anybody with this. Which I guess never really was the plan, to kill somebody on your own. I think he was banking on getting some assistance from the Iroquois still, but just too much pressure in the center of the map means Readbob wasn't able to survive after that start. I don't think he misplayed that one a lot either. It's just wasn't really set up to succeed, I don't think. Can't believe we always keep seeing these meme great leaders though. It's just hilarious. I really want to see some strats in tournaments sometime where people consciously try to give each other great leaders by making, I don't know, hoplites, maybe hoplites, and hitting into them with regular warriors from their teammates. We'll see if that ever ends up becoming a reality. As that is moving the remnants of his bowman stack. Sdn moving in, trying to hit a cat now apparently. That shouldn't be enough at least, but he's trying. Lots of these horses have already died, and the defensive bombard is just brutal, absolutely wrecking this stack, shredding it to pieces. And there we go. That was the last potential kill of this game being denied. Props again to Team Cheeze, both of them with achieving things that I hadn't thought probable. Sdn, again, I like the strat with the far apart city plans everywhere. But of course, if your teammate dies, you're not going to win the scoring. Yeah, the scoring category anyways. And the kill. Don't think it was a massive misplay either. Don't think that could have worked. Maybe onto Egypt. Maybe could have tried to kill Egypt. But he's right in that if you don't attack Antiquity's team, you might as well not attack at all. And an unfortunate last place finish for Team Halu again, it looks like. Don't think they outscore Aztec and Egypt. Although with SDN's big score, we shouldn't talk too early. Maybe the Iroquois corpse is able to drag him across the finish line in that regard. A single horseman comes in, maybe could attack Babylon or something. Don't know if he actually still has moves on that one. The ultimate score planned in the end for Status. Not sure that one's gonna move the needle anymore, but I like it. Alright, it seems like that is it for Game 8 of the tournament. We've got Team Antiquity clinching that first place finish in the event, so congrats to them already. And we're gonna see one more game in this event later today. It's gonna be Game 9, it's gonna be happening. If you're listening to this live, it's gonna be exactly 3 hours from now, as another last-ditch attack goes through onto a Legany. Don't think that's going to do anything. Exactly 3 hours from now, if you're listening to this live, the game 9 of the tournament is going to come through. It's going to be the last game of the day, and we'll see how much what that score looks like. I'll screenshot the score once now, and then I'll check it again once the turn timer expires. Alright, we'll see what the overall score situation is. Maybe I didn't give Iroquois Corps enough credit for scoring, but good job to SDN in that regard, at least securing the scoring win if that is the case. Still though, Team and his team winning the tournament here, I'm almost positive. GG's to everybody involved. Really think it was a pretty good game here. Can't lie. Hope people don't start leaving now. Let the turn timer expire. 1 kill for Team Cheeze. Well played there. But let's now tally up the score, shall we? Alright. Team Halu, that's Sumeria and Iroquois. 319. Team Antiquity, that's Babylon and Zulu. 303. So congrats. I didn't even deem that possible. But good job, Team Halu, on the scoring victory here. And Team Cheeze, that's Aztecs and Egypt. 263, they get last place in score, but 1 point for the kill. So now looking at the standings going into the last game, Team Antiquity gets second place from the score, that's 3 points. 0 kills though, so that's 40 points total. Team Halu get 5 points for the scoring win, but 0 points for the kills. And Team Cheeze get 1 point for the kill and 1 point for the last place in scoring. Meaning we have a new standings order. Team Halu actually overtaking Team Cheeze going into our last game, and this is what we have to work with before the game later tonight. That is Team Antiquity in first, having confirmed the tournament victory, 14 points ahead of the next team, so no matter what happens, they'll get that tourney victory. Team Halu in second place, 1 point ahead of Team Cheeze, so the battle for second place is very much still interesting, whoever cares about that. And yeah, these two teams neck and neck. We'll see how they end up finishing and which teams end up sending in that final battle. Congrats to Team Antiquity at this point already. Thanks everybody for joining me here. Again, in 3 hours exactly, the stream is going to go live again if you're listening to this live. Make sure not to miss out on that. I'll be there, of course. And we'll see who ends up performing in this last game, which is probably gonna be more for fun. Alright then, thanks for joining me, folks, and I'll be right back. As I said, 3 hours. Don't go anywhere. Maybe go anywhere. Maybe go somewhere in actually, but make sure to return. And let's finish up this tournament with a bang. Hope we're gonna get another banger there. to finish it off. And I'll see you guys in just a bit.